And just to reiterate, we're going to take a look at this counter offer situation demonstration as the listing agent representing a seller received a offer from a buyer's agent. So what I'm going to do with that is open up, tab over to an email account, and look at this this email that I received from cooperating agent, buyer's agent. Received an offer. Perhaps they emailed it to me as an attachment, or in this case, maybe they CC'd me on the signing when their buyer completed their Authentisign. I automatically got a copy of that purchase agreement that was signed by their buyer. So, opening the document that I've received, and there's a number of different ways to do this, right? To access, save documents, deliver documents into Authentisign. I'm going to kind of do it, I think, just the most common way, just most middle of the road way to do it. I've received an offer. Offer's typed up, signed by the buyer, and I want to present this offer to my seller for them to sign. So I'm going to save a copy of this. Save a copy of this document. I'm going to save it to my documents here. I'm going to go to my desktop, and we'll just save a copy of this. We'll call it the PO. Right? I'm saving a copy from the email message. We'll call it the PO-property address. I'm going to save that to my desktop. So I'm saving it here. I'm saving a copy so that I can upload it into Authentisign. So I'm going to close that document. I'm going to go back to my transaction desk account. I'm going to access that transaction file. So from my transaction desk account, I'm using the light view for this demonstration. From the light view, I'm going to click on my transactions, and I'm working with my Jollyville listing file. That was the offer that came in. Because first I need to go to forms. I need to type up a form, an addendum, or a counter offer. Every location is a little bit different on how you write up your counter. So in this particular instance, I've included an amendment to the contract of purchase because we want to sign but amend the offer that we've received. So clicking on that form name, bottom third of the screen, center, clicking on the form name, launch into Forms Editor. Hopefully some of this is very consistent with what you're doing already. And let me back up here, zoom out a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. Right? So I want to type up this amendment, whatever that might be. Typing up an amendment to the purchase offer submitted by a buyer's agent. Maybe we're changing the purchase price to $250, and closing date, however you're typing up. If you have that requirement to type up, some point in the future, how about Halloween? Something like that, right? You're typing up your amendment because not only do you need to have your seller sign the purchase offer that they've submitted, but we also need them to sign this counter. Maybe we know the buyer's name. We'll put in their name. We'll put in Bob Buyer, something like that. Right, I'm going to save the changes that I've made. File, drop-down menu, save. I just like to do the manual save, and now I'm going to exit out of this form. I've typed up the required amendment. I've saved the purchase contract. Now I want to include both of these, this completed form and that saved document. I want to include those in a signing for my seller so that we can get that signed and delivered back to the cooperating buyer's agent. So I'm going to click on the Authentisign tab. Clicking on Authentisign, I'm going to start a new signing for this particular counter offer. And maybe that's what we'll call it. It's the file we'll just come out just to make it easy on myself. I know what my listing is on Jollyville, so I'm going to call it the Jollyville Road counter offer, something like that. And it's only my one seller. Maybe I have two sellers. We can decide that here as we start adding our participants. But gave my signing a name. If I only have one participant, it doesn't really matter. Let's do simul-sign. Let's say that we have two participants. We have this husband and wife. We're going to need to sign this. And I don't need an expiration date. I don't think I need reminders. I'm going to change the position of the ID because I'm going to be uploading a signed document with an Authentisign ID already in the top left position, so I'm going to move that to the bottom left for this particular event. I'm going to add my participants. I'm going to add participants. So I gave my signing a name. I chose the simul sign, so both my participants will be invited simultaneously, and I move the Authentisign ID position. Now I'm going to go to step 2 to add my signing participants. And I can add my participants first through my transaction file. I'm going to select that option, and I'm going to add Sam. Sam has signature requirements. I'm going to add Sam as a signing participant. But I also come to find out that I need to add Sam's wife to this particular purchase contract, or just for this demonstration, just so we can see that we can have that second seller participant. I'm going to click on Add, and I'm going to add who will be his wife. His wife will be Sam and Samantha, and then we'll do Sam and Cindy Solar. And perhaps they do share an email address. I can certainly utilize that. I don't need this pre-fill. Sometimes pre-fill is a pain. Let me tell you, not that it matters, but I'm going to delete it out. And Cindy is also going to be a signing participant. They're both going to receive email invitations. Cindy is going to use her name to build that signature requirement. She does not have any custom signature or initial requirements. And I'm going to add that second seller participant. Actually, let me choose the role. It'd be a good idea here to choose the role. She also will be a seller, so that any Authentisign signature templates can be applied appropriately for Cindy. Add her signature and initial to known places. And add. Maybe I would even add another, because maybe I want to add in the cooperating agent as a CC-only participant. Perhaps I want them to automatically get a copy once my sellers have completed signing. It saves me the step of having to deliver it to them. So I could add another, and let's change over to CC only, and we'll just call them the buyer's agent. We'll just say buyer's agent for this particular example. Whatever their email address is, I'll just use this one. I want Authentisign to automatically deliver a copy of the signed documents to the listing to that buyer's agent automatically. Once Sam and Cindy have received, Authentisign will deliver the signed documents to the buyer's agent because they're a CC participant to the signing. As we get through, I'll also show these signed documents will come back to my transaction, so I can go into my transaction file and deliver from there as well. So we'll make sure to cover that at the end of the demonstration. So added step 2, Sam and Cindy are my participants. I'm going to move on to step 3 to upload documents and import my forms. And you can see that I did not try to add the cooperating agent and the buyers as participants to the signing. It can happen. We cover that in advanced Authentisign. It's called the private email option. So I could add in the buyer's agent maybe as a reviewer and the buyers in as signing participants with private email, and suggest that the buyer's agent will provide the email addresses for his clients or her clients. So I can go about it that way. If you're interested in that scenario, we do cover that in the advanced Authentisign webinar session for that private email option. Otherwise, I'm just going to get my clients to sign, and I'm going to send those signed documents back to the buyer's agent. So first, I'm going to pull my amendment from the transaction file, the top option here, my listing file on Jollyville. I'm going to select that option and pull my amendment into the signing. There's my amendment. Selecting that one. It's the only one I need to send from my transaction. So I'm going to select that completed form, and I'm going to add it upper third right of the dialog box. I'm going to add it to the signing event. And yes, I want Sam and Cindy's signatures and initials to be plotted in any seller 1 or seller 2 positions on this completed form. That's what it's asking me. Where should Authentisign plot Sam and Cindy's signature and initials? In the seller 1 and 2 positions. So we'll see that. I'm going to save that Authentisign templating. What I also need to add, I'm going to click back on Add. I'm going to upload a file, because because I need to upload that document. I saved it to my desktop, and it was the PO for 86. I know it says testing, but we're going with Jollyville. So I select that document from my desktop and upload it into the signing. Now let me click on add one more time. Are there different ways that I could have gone about it? Sure there are. Could I have emailed the document in to the signing? Yes. Can I install our Authentisign print driver and virtually print the document into the signing? Yes. Could I print the pages out and fax them in? Yes. I just found it for, I think, just general knowledge. Saving the document to my computer and uploading it is just a very ubiquitous way. Everybody knows those steps, so that's the one I went with. Could I saved it to my cloud storage and imported it from there? Yes. These are all options that are available. I chose the save as and upload to my signing. All right, so now I've added my completed form and my uploaded document. And notice the completed form received the Authentisign templates. The uploaded document did not. And that's where layouts can come into play. Let me see if I have a layout for this counter. Because if I did, if I've generated this counter before, amendment, no, it would want it to be for the purchase. Let's see if I have one. Buy side, layout. So I have a bunch of layouts, and none of them are for a counter offer. So I will save a counter layout. It'll be good for this particular session. So what we're going to do now, go to the design step 4. I'm going to plot all the signature and initial requirements for my selling participants. Once I do that, I'm going to save those plotted locations as a layout. So the next time I have a counter offer for a different selling client, I can use the layout to apply those signature and initial positions. Here is part of the template. I had completed this online form, imported that form from my transaction into Authentisign, and Authentisign plotted the signature requirements for me. Scrolling down, so those have been but now I need my seller's signature on the purchase contract. So that's what I'm going to do now. Upper third of the screen, right-hand corner, my signers. That is a drop-down menu for Sam and Cindy. I'm going to start with Sam. I click once to expand the drag and drop. Click and hold to drag and drop the block onto the page. Use the little gear circle. Click on that little gear to apply a date stamp. All right. Position it however is appropriate. Now I'm going to switch my signing participant to Cindy. I'm going to do the same thing, click and hold to drag and drop. Use the little gear circle to apply a date stamp. Position those appropriately. I can see the buyer signatures already. Scrolling down, what other signature initial requirements are there? Looks like there are seller initial requirements starting here. I guess that's page 2 of the purchase offer. So page 2, page 3, 4, and 5. So there are initial requirements on pages 2 through 5 of the purchase contract where my sellers need to date an initial. So I'm going to save myself some steps here, and I'm going to use initial pages. Bottom row, second column, initial pages. And I would like to align these at the bottom right-hand side for my seller participants. And I think, as I said, pages 2 through 5 of that purchase offer. I have plenty of room, so I'm going to use the middle-sized initial block. And I'm going to click on Continue in the upper third right of the dialog, Continue, so that Authentisign will plot these for me. They'll put them onto the page, and now I can format them in the appropriate way, position them, format them. But it just saves me the dragging and dropping. Using that option, I can even resize this one a little bit, squeeze it down just a smidge, drop that in, position, drop that in. So what I'm doing here, though, as well, is I'm positioning these. And keep that in mind as we're about to start talking about the layout. because by saving these positions as a layout, I won't have to do this again, because I will save these initial and signature blocks as a layout for selling participants. So the next time I have a counter offer for seller signatures, I'll be able to apply the layout, because all Authentisign is going to remember is the positions, where I'm plotting these signatures and initial blocks. So I plot them and format them with date stamps. That's requirements here. We'll get this all tidied up one time and then save it as a layout. I think that's the last page. So I've successfully positioned all of the required and optional initials and signature. One thing I also want to point out, not that we would need for this particular, whether you can use it or not, but markups. Perhaps you don't type up counteroffers. Perhaps you use strike over and initial. So let's show an option to do that. Use the line draw. Markup tool, line draw. I just click to select the feature. Now what do I want to strike over? I'm going to strike over the seller's name. I'm going to strike over that. Now I'm going to click and hold the mouse to drag and strike through the content. So maybe it's the purchase price. Maybe it's the closing date. Maybe it's some provision that they typed up into, or terms, or something else that the buyer's agent typed into the contract that you'd like to strike over. And then maybe you want to type something else in instead. So T for text. If I utilize that T for text, I click it once to activate it. I click once to plot, and then maybe I'll just change it to the Solar family. Something like that. Just showing that I struck over the content that was there. I added the new content that's required, and then perhaps too I'll put initial those changes that I made to the form or uploaded document, right? So just suggesting that, this probably isn't a field that you would be changing, but I just want to show that the option is there. I can strike over content. I can plot a text box for new content. I can plot initials to initial that strike over and change that we made, so that I can successfully prepare my completed forms and uploaded documents, the documents that I added. I can prepare them for this counter. Maybe there's a good example lower down here for purchase price or something. I didn't really see it, so let me scroll back up. Sorry if I don't mean to give anybody vertigo by scrolling quickly through these pages, but we'll just stick with that. All right? We've prepared, we've plotted, we've typed up, we've now, though, I don't want to have to go through and drag and drop all these blocks again. Didn't take too long, but it'd be easier if I could save those positions so that I could apply them in the future. And that's what layouts offer, that option. So I'm going to click here on layouts, middle third of the screen, right-hand side layouts, because I want to save as a layout. I want to save the positions that I plotted to the purchase offer document. I want to save those, and that's all Authentisign is remembering, is the positions. It remembers where I plotted the signatures and the formatting. It's not, Authentisign is not remembering the name in the blocks. It does not care about the names in those blocks. All Authentisign is remembering is the position. So when I'm creating a counter offer for some seller in the future, I can apply the layout, and Authentisign will automatically plot where I've saved these positions. So it's really for future use. I saved it this time. The next time I want to apply my seller's initials and signatures to a signed purchase contract, I can apply the layout that I saved. Moving forward now, going to deliver the invitations to our participants. Clicking on the blue Next button, upper third center, shading to the right, clicking on Next. We've successfully set up the signing. We gave our signing a name. We added our participants. We imported form, uploaded document. We plotted the signature and initial requirements. Do I want to customize this email invitation I'm about to send out? Maybe I'll just say it's a counter offer on Jollyville, something like that. Please let me know if there are questions or concerns, something like that. And I'm just going to send it to the one, just so you can see it. It's just so you can see what that customization looks like as I save the customization. And I'm going to send out these invitations to my signing participants. They could be sitting right next to me, right? We could have just gone through this together. They could be sitting right next to me. I'm still going to deliver them invitations to sign, because Sam and Cindy can be on their smartphones, their tablets, their laptops, wherever they have internet access on an internet device. They can receive the email message and go through the signing process. Because I wouldn't just send it to them blindly, and I hope that you don't either, right? You're going to either be with them or call them on the phone to walk them through the changes that you made, make sure they understand and agree, and provide that level of service to your clients. So, but just remember, they could be sitting across the table from you, and you still go through the same process. You create the signing, deliver them the email invitations so they can access those invitations through their email accounts. And that's what I'm going to tab over now. I'm going to tab over to my demonstration email account. I've received the counter offer invitations for both my signing participants. We'll start, here's the counter offer. This is the one that I customized, counter offer on Jollyville. So let's choose that one first. We'll work our way down. This one is for Sam. Sam, invitation, email to participate. Jollyville Road, message, please let me know if there are questions or concerns. That's what I customized. Sam is going to click on the big blue image or the words. We'll go with the big blue, so that he can create his signature and sign or click to accept the blocks that we've plotted. Now, Sam has signed previously, right? I used Authentisign for the listing agreement and the disclosures, agency disclosure and broker disclosure, and establishing our listing. We use Authentisign for that process. Sam can continue to use the same signature he created previously, and maybe we'll do that. We'll just use the one Sam signed previously, so he's good with his fonts, and he's just going to accept the terms and access the document to sign. We'll show Cindy creating a signature for herself. So Sam's going to read, review prior to signing. Yep, everything looks good, everything looks good. Start the signing. Click to accept the signature. Here is our strike over and our change and the initial to that change. Sam's signature. And notice we don't see Cindy's. We see the previous party's signatures, but we don't see the block for Cindy. So there's no overlap there as Sam clicks to accept. It's counting down. We've completed 3 of the 7 mandatory fields, and Sam's just going to go through and click to accept the initials and signatures that have been plotted. Now he can stick around and review what he just signed. Maybe he and Cindy are actually reading this together, like, okay, yep, that's everything that we discussed. It looks good. Going to complete. He can reject if he sees something like, hey, well, we didn't agree to that. He can reject and decline and kill the signing, exit, come back later, or in this case, we'll just return and complete. Stay and review? No, we're good. Complete the signing. So now Sam is done. Now the signing is available for Cindy. And Cindy can, and I've gotten an action that Sam has completed that, but now it's Cindy's turn. Cindy is going to do the same thing, create her signature, and then we'll show the drawing this time. Sam signed the listing agreement, but Cindy's required to sign the purchase contracts and so forth. So Cindy can select from some font styles. We do have some prefabbed fonts that she can choose from if she likes one that she wants to use to represent her digital signature. She can choose one of those. Maybe she likes fancy font or so forth. So she can elect to select a font style. She can also draw her signature, especially if she's on a touchscreen device, smartphone or other tablet or touchscreen. She can easily put her finger to this touchscreen to generate her signature. And it's Cindy Solar. I'm using mouse pad. Maybe it's painfully obvious, but Cindy can utilize the drawing. She can clear it and try it again, or in this case, it looks pretty good. I'm going to click on next. She'll do the same thing for her, like something like that, for her initials, and she'll adopt those initials. So again, she has the choice, select font or draw, and then she needs to accept the terms of service and the digital representation of her signature, and starts the signing. Upper third right, starting the signing. She can see Sam's signature already on the page, his initials already on the page, and so forth. So you can see the buildup of the initials and signatures that are being plotted as she goes through. She completed 5, 6, and 7, and complete. Complete, yes, she can still reject. If she rejects, it kills the signing. Signing does not get a final signed document because she rejected it. Otherwise, she's going to stay in review. No, we're going to complete. Feels good about it. She can create a profile if she wants to have online access to all the signings she participates in and kind of generate an Authentisign profile account. She can do that by generating and confirming a password here. Doesn't have to. She can say no thanks and just move forward without generating that profile account. We have a final signed document. All participants have completed the signing process. We're getting notifications coming back to us that our participants are going through the process. Now that everybody has signed, I'm going to go back to my Authentisign account. Now that everybody has signed, everybody gets copies. I get a copy of the final signed. Sam and Cindy both get copies of the final signed. And because we added the buyer or cooperating agent as a CC-only participant, they also received a copy of that final signed. So let me do this. Upper third of the screen, right-hand corner, going to click on the transaction desk on that little house. I do that to kind of like refresh it. So if I go back to e-signatures, I can confirm all that. We have a completed signing. Got the ribbon that indicates a completed signing. I can click on the signing name, and I can see that who my participants. They completed. We had a CC only type here who got a copy. I can see the revisions and the final signed document and the two individually signed. I can see the entire history of the signing event. So I have all that information that's available to me through the signing. All right, back to the signings, upper third left, clicking on the pen will take me to the Authentisign dashboard. So with all that history and detail and all those email confirmations that have been sent out and delivered to all parties, within our transaction file, back to the house, upper third right, back to the house, going to the transactions, clicking on the transactions, I want to review my listing file. I want to go to the documents section of my file, the Documents tab, to now see that the two documents that were just signed by my sellers have been delivered in to my transaction file, along with all my listing documents and my disclosures and everything that was required to get the listing, to get all those listing documents signed. I now have the purchase offer and the amendment. So maybe I didn't really want to add the cooperating agent as a CC only. Now that the documents are here in my transaction file, I would like to email these selected documents. I want to take this step to email these documents to the cooperating agent. Clicking on the little action arrow, I like sending these documents over in link form, if you will. So once the cooperating agent receives the email message, he's going to open the message, and there'll be two links provided within that email message. When they click on the link, as I type this up, and we'll just stick with that buyer's agent and their email address. Right? And we'll say, please see counter offer and amendment. Call with questions, something like that. I think it might be 2M. No, I think that's right. Amendment, yeah, 1. 1M in amendment, 2 Ds in addendum. That's the difference. All right. Sending this email message. Lower third of the screen, right-hand corner, little envelope, clicking on the envelope to deliver the message. Well, why did I send it as a link? For 2 reasons. 1, it significantly reduces the size of the message that I'm sending. 2 links embedded in the email message equals very, very small size of the message. The second reason I send as a link, as the cooperating agent opens that message and clicks on the link, Transaction Desk will deliver me a notification email that the recipient has opened the online document. So I get a time and date stamp feedback notification that the buyer's agent has clicked to open the document. Each time he clicks on the link, I get notified that he's opened that particular document. So it's just a nice way to get some confirmation that the cooperating agent actually clicked to open and review the document that I sent. So that's kind of the counter offer scenario. We received an offer from a buyer's agent. We saved a copy of that document to my laptop computer as a PDF document. I saved it locally, and then I uploaded it in step 3 of Authentisign. I uploaded it into the signing to prepare for signatures and initials. While I was here in my transactions under forms, I also typed up the amendment. I included both that amendment and the buyer signed purchase contract into the signing. We prepared and delivered those to our clients to sign. They signed, we received them back, and delivered them out to the cooperating agent. Now, the buyer's agent is going to take the steps to get their buyers to sign off on the changes that we made, or our counter, and we can kind of continue to go through the dance. But with that said, I do want to be very mindful of everybody's time. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to present. I'm going to click back on the home link, upper third of the screen, left-hand corner, home. I am going to re-raise this audio message to point out a couple features here. First and foremost, toll-free tech support, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, toll-free North American-based tech support. So if you have issues, errors, please don't hesitate to give us a call anytime, day or night. The other thing that you may be interested in is scheduling a free follow-up webinar for yourself, your team, your office. I'm going to paste this into the chat section of the Go-To Training sidebar so everyone has access to our online calendar so that you can schedule a free follow-up webinar session. You pick the day, you pick the time, you pick the content. Those sessions are tailored to the time that you have and the content that you want to cover. So it's all about you on those follow-up webinar sessions if you schedule it. Also, you may have interest in the Go-To Training sidebar is the materials section of that Go-To Training sidebar. You have access both to our calendar, but also to Authentisign How Do I videos. So there are some links there to some online videos that can be of value as you go through the Authentisign process. But with that said, again, thank you so much for this opportunity to present. I do hope that this webinar was of benefit to you. And until we webinar again, I hope you have a web-tastic day.